Yes, temperatures have been incredibly cold this week. Right now, temperatures across the state in the upper teens to lower 20s. Right now, 19 in Portland, 20 degrees in Augusta, 16 right now in Bangor. However, it has been very sunny for much of the state. The exception here being areas of the northern mountains. We do see a little bit of cloud cover in those areas, but in fact, so clear that on the visible satellite imagery, sometimes you can see the frozen over rivers and lakes across the state. And most of this week is going to be fairly calm. Our overnight low temperatures will be quite cold again, and then we have a front that comes in from the north on Friday. So there might be a few light snow showers around or some flurries, but we're not expecting really much precipitation there at all. In fact, some sunshine possible late in the day on Friday, and then the weekend will be chilly and sunny to start, but then we have some changes that come in for the second half of the weekend. And that is going to be this nor'easter, which forms off the coast and, as typical nor'easters do, then track up the coast, getting closer to Maine. And the question that we've been trying to answer here is just how close will this center of low pressure be to Maine, therefore how much snow would we see, for example. So right now, the snow risk is pretty low for areas away from the coast, medium for along the immediate coastline, and the high risk of snow is not near Maine at all. In fact, it's closer to areas of Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and Cape Cod, for instance. So in general, this area of low pressure is far enough away that this is not going to be a direct hit, and it's not expected to be a large snowstorm either. So take a look at where some of the highest snowfall totals are. Don't pay too close attention to those exact numbers. Just look at where we're expected to see those highest snowfall totals. Again, areas like Cape Cod and into Nova Scotia, because we're going to be far enough away from the center of low pressure that we could see some snow along the coast, but again, we're not expecting to see a lot of snow. Something that we are going to keep in mind, though, that it does look pretty windy because this storm is going to form and it is going to be strong. And because it's a nor'easter, we're looking at north and northeast winds across the state, mainly into Sunday night into Monday. And some of these could be about 40 to 45 miles per hour, so it will be fairly windy. So something to keep in mind there. It's also going to be astronomical high tide, and nor'easters tend to have an influence on those tides, so we might see some splash over, and there is a coastal flood risk that we are going to keep an eye on. Most of the high tides are between 9 and 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. So there's a lot to break down, so this is what we know right now. Snow impacts in general do look a little bit lower, mainly coastal. We will have to watch the risk for higher wind gusts, approximately 40 to 45 miles per hour, and astronomical high tide increases that flood risk. Seas 1 to 3 feet, small craft advisory. We'll take a quick look at that 7-day forecast. So it is going to be fairly calm for much of this week, Brian. Obviously, all eyes will be kept on Sunday for the threat of that storm. Right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a huge deal, but we'll be certainly keeping an eye on it.
Right, always something to track this time of year.
Absolutely.
Dana, thanks for joining us.